Hey people, Injured here, 1v1, Calderis Refinery, blue side. It's Angrathul as a Warlock, a melee commander that can leap into combat, really good disruption and mobility. Can also deal some pretty nasty damage too. Up against Tex on the red side as a Lord Commissar, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also support with some pretty awesome buffs and begins with a refractor field. Also we have triple guardsman into a sentinel, I would think, for Tex. Angrathul, I guess double shurikens, maybe rangers thrown in there to try and slow down this Commissar a bit, and the sentinel. Commissar coming straight to the mid to cap, and I guess Angrathul is going to split a bit here, try and get both the contested powers. He can try and get one with the Warlock, use his Destructor to scare off any guardsmen that come sniffing around. The other Dire Avengers can go to the eastern power, and that looks like exactly what he's doing. These guys can go try and grab that requisition, but the Lord Commissar is going to have some words. He's got that very dangerous sidearm, that auto pistol or whatever it is, that does almost 18 DPS piercing while he's chasing you around, and of course he has decent melee as well. VP is just going to get stolen, I think. Comes to have a look at the power, gives you a good idea of what your opponent's going for. He sees a generator, so he is expecting those shuriken cannon teams to come up, I guess. Wouldn't be seeing that if it was double Dire Avengers into Howling Banshees. And I mean, Howling Banshees are advised against, I suppose, versus Imperial Guard because of the Sentinel, but they do give you that power bashing. Flick them up this east side of fleet, go after the gens with their power swords, you can do some damage. Otherwise, I guess he just needs to try and camp it with his army or slowly shoot it down with his Dire Avengers. The first shuriken kind of weapon team is on the way right now. The generator went down, now working on a power node with his las guns. Do we have any nodes here? No, we don't. Warlock got stomped and runs off. Those guys ate a Destructor, I think. I think it's around, is it 50 or 60 damage that Destructor does? Makes it so painful for poor little heretics with their 75 hit points out the gate. Guardsmen with 100 hit points, right? They fare a little bit better. Guardian weapon team needs to push forward a little. I guess he's looking elsewhere. What is he looking at? He's looking at these guys behind the heavy cover, trying to outshoot the Sentinel, but they do drop a model, so a good start for Tex. Made the decision to push through, which was the right one. He's harassed the power, he's catching things off guard, he's forcing things off. Sentinel can now decap and get some repairs maybe. These guys do have their sergeant. I imagine all three will have their sergeant eventually. It is double shurikens then for Angrathul. Going to try and control this central area, not allow the Sentinel to move freely and use its stomps. These guys might drop a model soon. The guards on there suppressed, but they're still able to repair while suppressed, of course. Lord Commissar gets in on the shuriken, nicely timed by Tex. Came off the cap to chase these guys down. Taking quite a lot of damage from those other models there, firing those shuriken catapults. Puts his shield up, and these guys are going to run into another shuriken cannon. Catachans now on the way for Tex. It was obviously going to be spotters or catachans. Goes for the catachans, gives us some more versatility. Can disrupt and can drop that awesome smoke grenade. So if you have the tactics and the micro, generally a better choice than spotters. Spotters fare much better in team games, since you don't want to get anywhere near the massive range blobs that can come up in team games, and it's good for spotters to just drop their stuff from a safe distance. What's this? It's guardsman capping. Lord Commissar might take this completely here. The Warlock is going to take mid. Catachans on the field. They have power melee weapons, shotguns, a grenade launcher, and they can drop that smoke grenade. These guys are versatile. There goes an improvised explosive, yet another thing that they can do when they have their demolition man upgrade, which doesn't actually give them another model now, right? Just gives them more health, takes them up to 1050, and of course allows them to drop that thing. I'm not sure if it still gives them a model. I don't think it does.
The Witchblade shall burn in your hands.
Warlock hanging out behind heavy cover, going for the Immolator. Does that damage over time on hit, also allows him to use Immolate, which is going to be nasty if Tex wants to keep guardsmen still while they repair and stuff. Burning down some gens, trying to get out of the firing up, and does so. And now Catechins can force melee combat on this Shuriken. Gonna need to use their all reliable. There it is. Could have used a shotgun blast. Goes for the all reliable, which is pretty reliable then. And forces off the Shuriken. Can he get a full bash here? These guys, ouch, Destructor goes off. They were trying to put up some of that buildable cover so they could tank the Dire Avengers, but that Destructor came in and just pulverized them. No grenades, I don't think, on... No, he doesn't have any aspects, but he does have the Exarch leader on these guys, which you can now get, of course, in Tier 1, though you don't get Emboldened until Tier 2. He also gives you that short-range detection, and they're going to try and bash power. We'll see how they do. Warlock just trying to hold up these guards when he needs that Shuriken to come up and support. Here comes the Commissar, though, so he needs to be careful where he sets this thing up. I was going to set it up too close and then get caught. Trying to get out of the firing arc now. And judges it perfectly, as you can see. So I guess he can just try and flank around. Nope, he's going to stick with his army. 398 to 454. Takes down one generator. Going for another, but here comes the rescue party. And Catechins are moving in for the all reliable. There we go. 2-to-1 Cat for Angrathul as the players start to think about heading into Tier 2. Can you get a model on retreats? Really? No. Alrighty then. Shurikens need to set up well here. Lord Commissar gets out of the firing up. You see Tex, as soon as he sees those Shurikens, he starts to think about where is their firing arc going to fall. I need to get out of it. And they beautifully done. Gets in behind these guys. They need to pull back to the other Shuriken. But Tex knows he's going around the back here. Here comes the Warlock. Can't knock him down with Refractor Field up, and I think he should send the Warlock after those Guardsmen instead. Wants to get this Commissar off his back. Needs to retreat them both out. Really good hero play there from Tex. Tries to finish off this one with the R reliable, doesn't quite pull it off, and Warlock drops the Immolate and runs. 398 to 415. Tier 2 it is first for Angrathul. I guess we're going to see Wraith Guard. And then Tex can respond with Ogryns, though Ogryns might struggle against double guarding weapon teams. He might get Ogryns into spotters maybe. And if he gets Ogryns, Angrathul can get the Warp Throw to really screw them over. But it's a good Tier 1 for Tex. He's going in pretty strong here. Might get a full bash before Tier 2 comes around for him. Angrathul is actually there right now. Wraith Guard are what? They're 450-60, I think. I think they are now. Don't think he's going to get a full bash. He's going to get the node though. A node and 2 gens is not bad. But look at this beautifully timed flank by Tex to stop the power rescue here. Drops the Basilisk Flare, reducing range of all of the stuff it hits by 50%, even allied stuff, so you need to be careful with that. You see the firing arc is tiny now. I guess it's 10 seconds or so, I'm not actually sure. Warlock gets stomped in the face and is forced to retreat. Oh, improvised explosive goes off, almost finishes the Shuriken. If the Sentinel was shooting it a few seconds earlier, it might have finished it off, but as it is, they both survive, and Wraith Guard are on the way for Angrathul. And it's Ogryns for Tex before he even sees the Wraith Guard. Tex might be kind of forcing Ogryns onto the field because he wants to try them out, warming up for the tournament on October 17th, which might have already happened by the time you see this cast. Wraith Guard are up. There's the Immolate, catching 2 of those guardsmen, burning them good, takes out a model even. Look, they're now pretty low. If you can hit them with a sweet Destructor and then follow up with a leap and some melee, they're going to drop pretty quickly. Ogryns, they take a while to come out, don't they? 425.90, and they need to pay 125 for their boned leader, and look how slow these guys are now. This Wraith Guard, you really need their Spirit Seer Warlock guy. The Warlock hero will grant them Wraith Sight though himself, if he's within whatever the radius is. I'm not sure what the radius is. Oh, Commissar being annoying. He might get Aura of Discipline for those Ogryns. I guess he's going to get that. Why not? Help his Catechins as well a little bit. 292 to 410. Here comes the Warlock. Oh, he puts up the shield just in time so that he's not knocked over by the leap. Oh, Reliable goes off. Shuriken doing its thing against the Catechins, so it's strange to split up. And here are the Ogrins. I actually underestimated how much damage these guys do. They actually do 35 DPS for the regular models and 50 DPS for the Bonehead, and that is all heavy melee, of course. So what's that? 165 heavy melee DPS for the squad. That is pretty sweet. The downside, of course, is that they attack very quickly, which is generally a downside in Dawn of War 2. You want to deliver your blows in one big swoop, slowly, if you have to. Makes it easier to get kills while you chase and stuff. Faster attacks in melee are only better if you have some kind of on-hit effect, I guess. So that is one downside of the Ogrins. They attack every second, I believe. They're reasonably quick. Quicker than you'd think looking at them, especially when they get their melee charge going and their use your red thing. That was Aura of Discipline going off, I think. Yes, it was. 239, 410. He could have got stubbornness, I guess. He has a lot of infantry and could have made the Commissar a real bruiser with that. But look at the map right now. Angrathul is behind. I thought the Wraith Guard would have a bigger impact, and they could well have a bigger impact. Once he forces Tex back to the mid, the Wraith Guard can come out and start picking their shots. Control those Ogrins with the double guarded weapon teams, which he has kept alive, which is important. And now a Falcon on the way. That could be pretty cool. Ogrins will have to pick a target, I guess. Do you go after the Falcon or do you have to go after the Wraith Guard? You go after the Wraith Guard first, surely, because they pack so much of a punch. Just, whoa! Wraith Guard took out 6 models, was that? I'm not sure. I've seen him doing that a few times, Tex, dropping that single buildable block of cover to get a little bit of cover for a few models. Won't cover them all. That improvised explosive is still there. Our Avengers do have their aspect now, can throw that plasma grenade, it is, and build those shields. We haven't seen any shields go up, I don't think. Maybe we have. Tier 3 for Tex. Into a Lehman Russ, I suppose. Try and force a Bright Lance purchase so these Ogrins have an easier time. Do we see Warp Throw? We do not. Warp Throw would be really annoying for those Ogrins. Overlap that suppression, wait for them to get close, soak up a lot of damage, and then just Warp Throw them away. Immolate goes down, Sentinel getting a little bit low. Falcon could chase it here, and it's Sentinel's down. Don't think he got the missile launcher, no, so not a spectacular loss, but I guess he would have wanted to stick around. A good push through here by Angrathul. You see the Warlock, the Exarch I should say, spotting that improvised explosive there. Warlock going for the decap. He's going to get a quick triple here. Angrathul, I think. Tex is going mid though with some Ogrins supported by Aura of Discipline. So is it a good idea to just focus down the Lord Commissar in this instance, trying to get that Aura of Discipline off the field? Does it tell me how much it heals for? No. It's a pretty decent heal though on 4 models. You get a bigger heal on lower model squad, so it synergizes well with your Ogrins and your allied Marines and stuff, since it will affect allies. Lord Commissar levels up to 2. Really? Only 2. And Dire Avengers get away with 1 model. Saved by that suppression. Here comes some Wraith Guard. Do not have their Spirit Seer. Where's that Warlock? He's decapping a fully matured wreck point. Nicely done. These guys just peppering away at these guardsmen who Tex has forgotten about. I guess he's focusing on his Ogrins. Forces off the Shuriken. But look at that from the Wraith Guard. Keeping them suppressed, and they are forced to retreat. Oh, nice grenade on those guardsmen who were just hanging out here. And lost 5 models for their trouble. Good little swing around for Angrathul. Gets that wreck point and is going to get a triple cap, although it might be quite a quick one. Tech should be able to get out of base pretty quickly. Helps you heal up at base, I suppose, when you have this Aura of Discipline. Ogrins, oh, they actually dropped 2 models, so they didn't drop the Bonehead Leader. Looks like these guys are going to be cheaper to reinforce in the next update, which is set to be 2.5. You can, again, read the initial notes, work in progress notes on the forums. They're not all complete yet, only the Eldar and Grey Knight changes are up yet. Maybe not even all of the... No, Imperial Guard and Grey Knight changes, sorry. Maybe not even all of them are up. And they could change, of course. Falcon, pushed right the way out, allows those Wraith Guard to reinforce in the field. And all this other stuff, of course. Warlock's a little bit low. You might want to backtrack and start capping stuff here, maybe. Oh, we have a generator over here from Tex. Tex smiles, triple cap against him, but now has a Leman Russ. Is he going to force a Bright Lance purchase, or does he think the Wraith Guard are enough? They certainly are enough, providing the Leman Russ doesn't move, of course, which of course it will. And the Warlock's going to get shot down. Oh, gets away just about. 2, 3 hit points does get away, in fact. He's gone for the Cloak of Shadows, which is a bit weird. Maybe he wants to protect the Wraith Guard from the Leman Russ's shots, but I would have thought that wouldn't be too useful. He's not up against that much ranged firepower right now. Could have gone for the Heart of Darkness to buff those Wraith Guard with Enhance. Oh, look at this damage on this Leman Russ right now. Wraith Guard kind of getting stuck behind their own Falcon, which is pushing through here. Tex is in tier 3, of course. I guess Kasrkin would be his next purchase, unless he wants to save for another Leman Russ, which is possible. Although that puts a lot of repair strain on his army. He does have 3 guardsmen to repair though, and could drop a bunker. How much are bunkers these days? Is it? I don't know. I'm not even going to guess. I don't know. It's a bunch of red and a bunch of wreck. That's all I know. Another Falcon. Is that a mistake from Angrathor? Doesn't seem like a good purchase. Could get some Dark Creepers up, help him control these Ogrins with their pinning fire and their raw DPS. The Wraith Guard are chased down and whacked. That is a massive blow for Angrathor's army. He might need to think about getting that Warp Throat, maybe even the Witchblade of Kurnus. He's still getting that second Falcon. I'm not entirely sure why. There it is. There it is. He's getting a Bright Lance up as well. So Leman Russ could potentially go down pretty quickly here. Bright Lance does really good DPS, and he's got those double Falcons doing a little bit of damage, but they don't want to get too close to that Leman Russ, which has its default weapon, I guess, with Elite Tank Crew. Increases sight radius by 15. Note that it does not increase the weapon radius. Gives you a little bit more health too. Angrathor has a nice bunch of red, but it's not in tier 3 to get the nuke going. Catachans disrupting the Guardian Weapon team, which are trying to decap. Looks like they're going to get that decap. It's 160 to 145, very close on VPs. Also, mines dropped by the Commissar. That's from his global bar. And it is Kasrkin on the way for Tex. I suppose a Melter Gun, or Melter Guns, they get 2 in the squad, I think. And then he could try and support that with the Fist of Brockus, or maybe just get the Xenos Power Claw for some extra DPS. Fist of Brockus would be great here. Make sure those Ogrins and those Kasrkin do not die as they get close. Really forces you to focus down the Lord Commissar. But it's not cheap, that thing, is it? I think it's 250 to get that Fist of Brockus. Falcons need repairs. He's really going to need to stay on that, on those repairs. There's the Immolate trying to dislodge the repairing guards. But here come the Ogrins throwing around all of that heavy melee DPS I talked about earlier. They're not leveled up, so they're not doing any more than that. Down goes the Warlock though. They just leveled to 2, so now they're doing a little bit more damage, but they are dropping models. What are they suppressed by? Not actually sure what they were suppressed by. There's only a Bright Lance. Now, was there another Shuriken that just got shot down? I completely missed, maybe. Since they completely exploded, they don't stay on the field. Leman Russ is now pushing through, has double guardsmen to repair. The third guardsman squad is over here, just capped this and now chilling out. 137 to 145, but there's the Bright Lance coming into play. This might be a destroyed Leman Russ here. Surely he's going to take it down. There's the repairs. Can they finish it off? They do finish it off. That was a big deal. Here come the Kasrkin, and they are getting Melter Guns. They're going to throw their crack. Ogrins get whacked. There's the crack throw. This is a crazy engagement. They are waiting for their Melter Guns. And you see what he's doing? He's forcing melee combat. So now he knows that they will chase the Falcon without him to micro any further. And he's going for the Fist of Brockus as well. At least one of these Falcons is going down, I think. Kasrkin are cutting it so close. They are getting heals off the Aura of Discipline. Down goes that one. He's going to get the Fist of Brockus, and if Angrathor doesn't realise, that is a dead Falcon pretty quickly on rear armour. Now he can switch targets. There we go. Smack. 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 One more might do it. One more definitely. Down it goes. Wow. Lots of losses all around, but I think Tex has come out on top with a 2-1 good map and 96 of 145. And now he can absolutely wreck these Dire Avenger models using the fist and putting up his shield as needed. He's just tearing through them. These guys are going to go for the decap while they can, but this guy's not going to be happy about that. He's going to tear them apart. Destructor doesn't really hit very well. It's quite hard to hit that at close range. Seems to be the case. And Grathul was so much red, but he's not in tier 3. 81 to 145. He wiped Ogrins, took out Lehman Russ, but then dropped 2 of his Falcons. The Kasrkin actually went down on retreat, I suppose. I was too busy looking at this Commissar, who's now tearing Eldar limb from limb up to level 6. 80 to 145. Surely this is Tex's game to lose. He's got Catachans to deal with the Guardian Weapon team, and this Commissar, just with that fist at level 6, is going to do so much damage. 85 DPS by default. That will be boosted by his level. He is in retreat. This Warlock level 3. 79 to 145. 2-1 cap by Tex. Can Angrathul recover? Doesn't really have the requisition to purchase something. Neither does Tex though. But Tex is very close to a nuke. Just needs 7 red. And he can drop that rocket run, which would be devastating if he tries to cap with some infantry or something. He's dropping guardsman models. Is that just to get the red? Now he has 500 red. He's going to push in base and use it? Probably not. These Dire Avengers are just terrified of that Lord Commissar right now. Here come a bunch of Lasguns as well. And they are forced to retreat. This is Tex's game, I think. Really cool fight in the mid there that decided it. There was so much stuff dying. Micro just stretched to the limit for both players. GG says Angrathul. More Kasrkin on the way for Tex. There's the Immolate. Down goes the Warlock. These level 4 Catachans are only level 2, but there is a concede from Angrathul. So Tex does take it with 145 VPs on his clock. And a whole bunch of the map. That decisive mid engagement there was pretty cool to see. Let's look at the heroes end of the game. Level 6 Lord Commissar with that fist and Aura of Discipline, and then level 3 Warlock with Immolate and Cloak of Shadows, which was a strange choice for me. But there we go, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.